What's up? Just now started going live. So if someone was here waiting, that's interesting. The thing was on for a while, so checking on cars again. Let's see if there's anything. There was a Kia Rio I was interested in, but right when you start to ask them about smog, they get quiet. So still on the look, still on the prowl. So trying to, let's see. I don't think it's been sold. Yeah, it's an 07 Kia Rio, so it's pending shit. Yeah, someone already got to him, man. Yeah, that shit's probably gonna go. I shouldn't have even argued the fact. I should have just like, hey, yeah, can I come check it out? And then I should have made him an offer then. So this is one I feel like I missed out on. The price was right. Most likely it passed smog, but I got to be so safe with it. I need to have the smog ticket in hand. I can't really risk. I don't want to risk it not passing smog because that could be expensive. But I'm trying to make it work. What up, brother man? What's up? Welcome to the program. I'm waiting for a phone call from my mom. I don't know what's going on exactly tonight, but I wanted to kind of find out. I was hoping that me and Mike could play Fortnite tonight, but he got his Switch taken away, so I'm trying to figure out what that's all about. It's usually what me and Mike do. That's like kind of our bonding thing. When I'm not up in Washington, I'm down here. We'll play Fortnite because it's cross-platform and it's our way of spending time with one another. But whenever he gets it taken away, it's really unfortunate because then we can't have that bonding time together. Because for the longest time we tried talking on the phone, but he just doesn't like talking on the phone. Like if we do the video chat with Facebook. No, Mr. Beast, he's donated to streamers that don't have tits. No, this is, if you follow me on Twitter, you'll probably get the joke. I'm not really looking for Mr. It'd be cool, don't get me fucking wrong, but no. Also, Lewis Spears, he did a live stream. It was because his setup was similar to mine. This is, I think, about 2 years ago. He did a video of the titty streamers and Mr. Beast donate money to them. And he made a live stream called, I will not stop this live stream until Mr. Beast donates me $10,000. Because back then, Mr. Beast, that's all of his videos, is he would do counting to 100,000 or watching paint dry, just like weird, really long videos that people would watch for whatever reason before he started transitioning to the whole money thing. So Lewis Spears did a really funny video about the titty streamers, right? And getting donations and stuff. So after that video, he did it was a live stream, and even like him sleeping, he did that too. He slept during the stream because he had to at some point. And I don't know if it was just an alt account or if it was actually him, but Mr. Beast showed up towards the end of the stream, but his phone died. So he had so many issues with the stream because he had issues with his phone. He had issues with his laptop. The laptop, while it was plugged in, it wouldn't charge fast enough for him to continuously live stream. So the whole thing was just a fucking shit show. But it was a fun jest, I watched a couple hours of it. It was a good time. I like Lewis Spears. He doesn't do a whole lot of live streaming though. He does scheduled content, but first and foremost, don't have Twitter, dude. People are freaking out because Twitter just added, which I think is really dumb. Twitter added stories like Facebook and Instagram. Hi, dropping a big like. Hey, yeah, appreciate that. Welcome. Yeah, it's a crab. Yeah, we all have crabs here. Didn't you know? You gotta join the club, man. Uh, Madison says lit a lot. Hella finna lit, fam. Something like that. Sup, loser? I'm good, man. How are you? Welcome to the program. We're just chilling tonight. Man, it's this car search blows, man. It's like no matter how close I get to a good deal or something reasonable, I ask them about smog and then they clam up. They don't want to do a deal with me, which tells me it's like, all right, then you don't have the smog. Then there's one guy, I told him about the whole situation. It's like, hey man, popping my boyfriend's toes. Oh, you're just like pulling them bad boys? It feels good, man. You had a long day, you're on your feet all day, you just want to do a little crack, 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 crack. No, but for real though, uh, yum, yum, that yummy, yum, yum. What was it? Oh man, my fucking brain. What the hell was I talking about? How's the kids? What? What goes on have kids? I mean, probably. I mean, you ever keep in contact with any of those girls you used to hang out with in Arizona? Fort Huachuca area? Just saying. Oh yeah, so I looked at that Dodge Caliber, man, and that thing was junky. I ain't gonna lie. Like it needed quite a bit of work on it, but if you just change out the tires, it'd be good for probably 6 months. Um, and I was like, yeah, like the tires had to be changed. Like I was surprised he was even able to make it over on those tires. And and I told him it's like, yeah, man, I'd love to give you an offer. I know there's a couple things that need immediate attention, but if you guys just so happen to get a because they were asking 2,000 for it. It's like if you get a the smog certificate, by all means, I'll give you guys an offer. He got the smog certificate the next day, deleted the listing, and then relisted it at 2,500. It's like, so just because you have a smog certificate, that tells me, how does that tell me that the car is now suddenly worth $500 more? I'm like, you're out of your mind. In its current condition, $1,200, man. Because just to get up to that $2,000 level, you're gonna need like $600-700 worth of stuff put into it. We're talking the tires, that needs a new battery and a battery mount because the battery was just sitting in there. There was no mount, there was no strap, so it was just like wiggling all over the place. It's like that's not even safe to drive. Like just married Harvey and started. I haven't married anyone, so when I play Stardew Valley, man, I just focus on the money. Like I and the thing I love about that game is I just sit down, I chill, you know. But like I'm like a numbers guy, so I like a lot of city building games and stuff. I like resource allocation, so I'll be playing like City Skylines. I'll be playing Frostpunk is like that's like my go-to. That's one of my favorite games. Um, Civilization. There's a lot of resource management. I haven't played Surviving Mars. I haven't played what was it, Outpost? What's that one called? It's got the same art aesthetic as Prison Architect. RimWorld. RimWorld. I haven't played RimWorld. Outpost, that is an older game. That's an older resource 4A strategy game from like the 90s. Proud of those kids and their degree. AKA walking dipshit. Yeah, Haley's kind of lame. Who else? Haley, I haven't found any girl in that game that I'm actually like, because like I've done some of the like quests where you learn a little bit about them, but I mean Abigail's kind of cool. I don't like her. I like her in-world avatar, like the, but her portrait is. I don't like her portrait that a whole lot, but of the women in the game, unfortunately the married ones I like more than anything else. They're a lot more mellow. They're a lot more chill. Who is the girl that runs the stable? Not the stable. No, definitely not her. What's up, 4K? About to turn. You can. You can, man. You can, and the cool thing is you can get a divorce at City Hall, and if you and the person's gonna hate you, but if you go to the witch, she'll make them forget that you were ever married in the first place. It's pretty cool. Also, the witch can turn your children into little doves. So, in case you don't want children anymore, just which that's just cruel and unusual. And one of my go-to things in Skyrim is as soon as I can, I get enough rep, I get enough money, I buy a plot of land, I build a nice big fat ass house on it. That's my headquarters right there. I don't use any of the stock city shit in the game. I go directly for get my own base of operations, and then I always adopt a kid and have us place them there for them. The hardest part is finding a steward. Because the game doesn't really tell you where the stewards are at. If you've played it long enough, yeah, you can get stewards, no problem. The car, what I was talking about, witchcraft. The car hunt. I'll talk about that in just a second. We finish up with Stardew Valley. So, but I know it's Stardew Valley. I need to approach that game the same way that you would Animal Crossing. Decompression. It's kind of a hipster douche. The thing I like about Abigail, because I haven't on my own gone through her whole story, but I have seen her story, and she's got layers to her. There's history to her, which is really cool. So as you kind of go down the rabbit hole on it, she does want to. She wants to be independent, So she does, as a character arc, she has a pretty good one. But you're right, though, she is kind of hipster emo trash, from that perspective. Let's see, old days. Use the game. Modern Warfare 3. I played a little bit of Modern Warfare, a lot of Modern Warfare 2, some Black Ops, Modern Warfare 3, of course. Big on Halo, man. I was big on Halo back in the day. Halo was my jam. Easily, like, growing up, that was probably one of my favorite games. Through middle school and high school, I was just jamming on it, dude. Yeah, Halo was next level, dude. Yeah, the car hunt. I'm trying, man. I'm keeping my eyes open. There was a Kia Rio, 07. Let me see if did I have it pulled up? I can pull it up. He marked it as pending, which is rough. So we wanted $1,800 for it. And honestly, if he had the smog paperwork, I would not have questioned it. But because he didn't have the smog paperwork, I was like, well, if you're firm on price, let me know. I won't waste any of our time. And he's like, well, it might be a little flexible. I mean, why don't you just come check it out and see if it works for you? And I'm looking at the pictures, man. This thing's like fucking immaculate, especially for an 07. It's got nice low miles. It's like, this is a fucking steal. And it's like, I should just don't look a gift horse in the mouth. I should have just gone and taken it. But the problem is that I'm having is I need the smog paperwork. I can't trust the word of the person. This person's a stranger. If they say, oh, it'll pass smog just fine, it's like, dude, I need to know for certain it's going to pass smog. If I buy this car from you for damn near $2,000 and it turns out it needs a new catalytic converter, it's like, I'm fucking shit out of luck. You know how fucked I am because of that? So that's just something I don't mess with, man. It's just something I don't want to get like drawn into. But I'm looking at this car, man, and like inside, outside, it looks like, just by the looks, it's in great condition. What does that tell me? That tells me that the owner has taken care of it, and it was, in looking at the miles, it was lightly driven over the years. So all of those things combined, because this person took care of the inside and the outside, because of this person, drove it like a reasonable amount in those years, that also tells me that this person most likely kept up on like all the standard maintenance for it. So these are all really good things. So because of this, I should not have made a big deal about it. As soon as I saw it pop up, I should have said, hey, I'm free right now. Can I come take a look at it? And then I should have talked to him. But the thing is, I don't like wasting people's time. That's why I try to be direct and I try to be upfront. It's like, hey, I really need the smog, Assassin's Creed, new one, Odyssey, didn't that just come out? Uh, what Assassin's Creed game? Ragnarok? Oh, Animal Crossing. Hold on, let me read a couple of these and I'll go back into it. Whoa, what are you doing? Oh no. Nice, that's good, man. Oh, all right. See, I wish I had a higher budget, you know? And it's like if it wasn't for the fact that I got it, that we're getting ready to be moving soon, I probably would, but I got to kind of like I got to keep the budget where it's at, which is my budget has doubled from the last time I went looking for a vehicle. So, you know. Oh, Animal Crossing, hell yeah. In Las Vegas? Lucky. Yeah, my insurance is like 200 something bucks a month. It's and I've tried different cars. Some cars it's slightly cheaper than others, but it's nuts. So Home Advisor, hey, do you know Home Advisor work? Is it like Handy? So Home Advisor, I believe Home Advisor owns Handy. Yeah, Home Advisor. I'm pretty sure it's Home Advisor. That or Angie's List. I'm pretty sure it's Home Advisor. Home Advisor bought out Handy, and so if their customer service wasn't already bad, it's even gotten worse. So it's that is a whole crazy rabbit hole. But well, in Vegas, we're just moving to a 3 bedroom instead of a 2. So hence, I need to make sure I have enough money saved up for the move. Um, first, last deposit, all that crazy jazz. So that's why I'm not elevating my budget any higher than is realistic. So I'm kind of keeping where it's at. Need to start stashing money and putting it away. Um, I can't joke around with it. So I have to keep myself really firm on my budget. So, which not the end of the world. Anyway, yeah, Home Advisor stay away from. The way Home Advisor works is you need to own a business. It's not like Handy, it's not like TaskRabbit, it's not like Tackle, it's not like any independent gig economy thing. Most gig economy companies prey on people not understanding what it means to be an independent contractor and own your own business. They say be your own boss and all this stuff, but most people don't know what it is to be the boss. They don't know what it entails to own your own business. No, it was high ever since I moved out here before the car accident. So the thing is, Las Vegas, it's not the way it works in Clark County. There's a bunch of weird laws involved. But one of the laws that governs like how auto insurance rates are done is they also do credit. And when I moved out here, my credit was shit, and it's slowly gotten better. Um, the accident obviously didn't help, but that's so when I was in California, my insurance was like $40 a month. When I moved out here, it skyrocketed to like 170. And then it slowly went up over time. Then the accident happened. Surprisingly, the accident, they didn't jump my premiums up at all. But I guess that was around the time that I was paying debt off. So my score was improving. Oh, dude, there should be. Oh my God. Yeah, it's crazy, man. Tell me about it. Dude, yeah, so Home Advisor, all right, so here's the thing. There should be a lawsuit because Home Advisor and Angie's List, they're predatory. All right, so I've always done TaskRabbit, but I've kind of been chilling out on it because I've been so busy with other shit, like all this VA stuff. I do a few jobs here and there, but nothing crazy. Not like before, because I just don't have fucking time because of all this VA shit that I'm going through right now. But fortunately, I have a little bit of savings. Not a lot, and pretty much all of it's going to evaporate the moment I buy a car. Probably have a little bit of a cushion, a couple $100. Well, if I play my cards right on which car I buy, I might have a cushion between 400 to 500, but we'll see. Um, where was I? So that's still like a yes and a no. Well, all right, that's still, they haven't approved or disapproved anything yet. So I've said this before, it can turn into a very long story. So the easiest way is I'm not going to hear anything back until mid-April to mid-June. That's the window for approval slash denial. I had my last CMP examination is on the 10th. So we'll see what happens, because that's the big one. The 10th is the big appointment. Well, all right. So when it comes to teeth, the VA looks at teeth as cosmetic. They don't look at it as anything that's needed, which is weird. So I'm rated at 80% disability. I have to be rated at 100% for them to do it. If I'm rated at 100%, they'll fix my teeth, no questions asked. The problem that I'm having is, over time, infection, this, that, and the other, and it's gotten to the point where it's spread to my bones. And I've been on amoxicillin to kind of like hold things back, but it's a temporary fix. I need to get real work done. So hopefully I can last until, hopefully I can bide my time and wait until late spring. So until then, anyway, I'm kind of getting sidetracked. So the Home Advisor thing, it's fake leads. All right, they're essentially a lead generation company, but the way that they operate is extremely fucked up. So the way it works is, if I'm a customer, like, and I, call Home Advisor and I see someone on Home Advisor. If I'm online and I make a request, or if I see a phone number and I call it in, I'm not actually calling the business. I'm not actually calling the contractor. I'm talking to the third party. I'm talking to Home Advisor. And I talk to them on the phone and I'm like, yeah, I'm looking to get this done, and looking for some quotes and stuff. So what they do is they take that information, they get it all jotted down, they email blast all the fucking contractors, HVAC companies included, and those are all considered leads. Now, the way it works is, if you receive a lead, you pay, and it's like anywhere from like 75 to 150 bucks just for the lead. Doesn't matter if you get the job or not. And a lot of these people, it's like, oh, I just need someone to come and give my unit a routine maintenance. That's like what, a $50-$60 fucking service call? That's nothing. You just paid $150 to make $50, and the customer may not even fucking need a repair, or if they do need a repair, they're like, oh, I'll wait until it breaks, kind of thing. Then you're kind of fucked. So it's just bad overall. No, this is not soda. No, this is unsweetened tea. So yeah, so I don't know, the VA stuff is just crazy, man, and I get pretty heated even thinking about it. I'm just waiting for the 10th. Oh man, there's so much involved with it. I don't want to ramble on about it. But anyway, but the Home Advisor thing, man, stay away from it. Stay away from it. You can build your own business. You can network with people. You can advertise yourself out there. Don't generate leads through these fucking people, man, because these companies are solely designed to just fucking rip everyone off. Oh yeah, hey, of course, man. So there's another lead generation company called Thumbtack. Now, Thumbtack is, I would say, it's a lot more fair. It is a lot more fair. I've used it in the past a couple times, but it's one of those things where if you don't have reviews, then it's hard to get jobs. So I've showed my portfolio of work that I've done. The cool thing about Thumbtack is the way that you fill out your profile to show the work that you've done, the type of jobs that you do. It's damn near like you're making your own website. It's like their profile generation is like top notch. I wish TaskRabbit was as good as theirs. It's fantastic. You do pay for lead generation, which it's sometimes hit or miss. Sometimes If you get a direct lead, where they essentially advertise you to the customer and the customer clicks on you as a request, they can also click on other people too. It's like a bidding thing. The customer needs work done. They can do one of two things. They can either select a few people or just throw it out there and wait for people to hit them up. So if they select people, they still go up to the board, but those people that they selected, like, hey, these 3 people, I want quotes from you guys. And here's the thing, it's really difficult because it's hard to kind of like get the back and forth on it, right? So, oh, and the cool thing is if you talk to a customer, the moment the customer talks to you, they charge you, right? That's when it's like, okay, so yeah, that's the lead that you and the customer talked. But if the customer doesn't talk to you, you don't get a lead. If you don't get the job, you don't get a lead. You don't have to pay for it. If you don't get the job, you don't, the only time you have to pay for lead generation is if you get a job or if it's a direct lead. If through their advertising of your profile, then you have to pay for that regardless. If they directly hired you, like a direct request as opposed to a cold call when it's just open on the board. That's a good one, man. Yeah, so Thumbtack, and you can set your own rates, flat rate or hourly. I always did flat rate for me. It messes with a lot of people's heads because most people are hourly. On Thumbtack, I only did furniture assembly, and whenever I do furniture assembly, I've been doing it long enough to know how long a piece is going to take me given circumstance. So, if it's more intricate, like a big wardrobe or closet that needs to be closet modular system that needs to be mounted up and installed, that's a case by case basis. Some of those I will work hourly. So, like putting closets together, it's always better hourly unless it's like a wardrobe system, like a PAX. Those I'll do flat rate because it's easy peasy. But if there's a lot of lining up and mounting different fucking like 2x4s and holding shit up and blah 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 blah, in that situation I almost universally do hourly just because the time it takes. You think like mounting something isn't that difficult. It really isn't, but it does take time because you gotta line everything up just right. I am meticulous when it comes to mounting shit. When I was mounting stuff, like I would double, triple, quadruple check, like make sure all the measurements were perfect, and having a laser level really helps. That's one thing that really kind of bit me in the ass is I would go to jobs and I would do a whole lot of mounting, right? Mount pictures, mount this, mount that, mount this, all over people's houses. But the moment I bought my laser level, I would still get the same amount of work, but I wasn't working as much. I wasn't making as much money. So I had to increase my rates because that laser level saved me like it saves you like so much fucking time, So anyway, yeah, so we're just chilling, just talking. Let me refresh this, see if anything's populated up. Damn, dude. Yeah, it would have been nice, but, because I asked about the smog. So, yeah, so like a Nissan Altima, Nissan Sentra, Nissan Maxima, those are also cars that I was looking at. Called the insurance company I'm going with, and they've given me quotes for all these vehicles for the make, the model, and the year for all like these different vehicles, and I have tons and tons of pieces of paper with like all these numbers written out on how much it's going to cost for the insurance. No, I don't even like being in Vegas. If anywhere, I'd go to Colorado. We don't need to get into a debate about that, but no, it's I just want to be somewhere green, man. I'm sick of the brown desert, dude. I was born and raised in California. I left California for years when I was in the military, and it's like I came back home to California, and being an adult living in California is very different from being a kid. And I'd spent enough time away, huh? No, I've looked though, but for Frontier, that's like damn near $300 a month in insurance. So would I rather pay $300 a month in insurance or $207, $211, $220? For some reason, every Nissan that I looked into was between $250 and $300 a month. I've probably been there. I used to go all sorts of places with my family growing up. When I'm in my adult years, I mostly hung around the IE in Orange County. Um, a couple times I went into LA County, not often. Yeah, man, California, man. That was the stomping ground. But I don't know, just living there with adult eyes and adult responsibilities, it was too expensive. Have you seen anything crazy lately out in public? To be perfectly honest with you, I try my damnedest not to go out in public. I mean, if it's the odd TaskRabbit job, or this car situation, or the VA, or the grocery store, like standardized things that you need to do to survive and fucking live your goddamn life. Um, no, it's rough. It's not easy for me to go out or be around people. Like I'm cool and chill with you guys, but like there's like this weird disconnect. It's like you guys are here talking to me, but like I have to remind myself that this is my community. These are it's an assemblement of real people. But because it's like this digital interface and you guys are just sitting there behind the keyboard or tapping away, there's that disconnect where it's like I know I'm talking to people, I'm having a discourse with people, but it's not the same as having to interact with people in real life. So I like that. That makes me comfortable. Have you seen videos on your? Have you seen videos here on YouTube about people being crazy out in Vegas? I mean, there are people out crazy out in Vegas. I don't go anywhere near the Strip. All the tourist trap spots. When a cop pulls you over and you don't say, and the cop pulls you over and saying, "I don't answer questions." Yeah, I've been down that YouTube rabbit hole where, I don't answer questions. I don't answer questions. I don't answer questions. There's that, and then the whole you need to read the blue the Black Book of Laws from such and such person. We are free men. We are traveling. We're yeah, but you're operating a motor vehicle under whose jurisdiction? Like the whole fucking sovereign citizen shit. We don't have to give them our driver's license. Here's the thing, man. Here's the thing. I am 110% of people finding loopholes in the law. I'm all about people fucking living by the Bill of Rights. All right. I'm all about that shit. 110%. I advocate it all the way. But like, I've seen those videos, the sovereign citizen videos and stuff, where they want to, I'm going to put one over. I'm going to find some weird legal technicality where I can drive my car without registration and all that shit. You know what I mean? And it's like, dude, like, you know how you have any idea how many problems you're causing for so many people? Yeah, not every cop in the world is awesome. Not all of them are dicks. But you're being a complete fucking asshole, not just to yourself, but to the police officer as well. He has a job he's trying to do. And that job, he's supposed to follow a line with certain laws and regulations and, legislation. You're inhibiting him from being able to do his job properly by you driving around, getting pulled over and saying, "Oh, I'm a sovereign citizen. Go fuck yourself. I'm traveling." It's like it's semantics at that point. It's just so stupid. It's like, here's the thing, man. I don't like cops. Y'all see me stream. I fucking clam the fuck up. Even though I'm not doing anything wrong, I use my turn signals. I go the speed limit. I'm not texting. I might be streaming with you guys, but I got my hands on the wheel. I'm focusing, right? I still clam up, man. And if I were to get pulled over, you know what I'm going to do? It's going, officer, here's my registration, insurance, proof of insurance. By the way, this is my girlfriend's car, blah, 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 blah. she's visiting, whatever. I'm going to go into that whole spiel. Do we have to always have identification in public? I don't think that, no. All right. So when you're operating a motor vehicle, yes. But aside from that, no, it's not a legal requirement to carry identification with you. Here's the thing though, it helps. If you're operating a motor vehicle, you need to have proof that you are allowed to operate that motor vehicle, because driving is a privilege. It's not a fucking right. It's kind of like us as a country have kind of assembled up and said as a community, like, hey, we have this crazy technology where we can get from point A to point B extremely efficiently. But this technology can be problematic and it can be dangerous. So we're going to set up a list of rules, a list of laws that we're all going to follow, that we all agree to, so that the roadways can be safe. That's essentially what the rules of the road are. That's what all this legislation and all these laws and shit, it's like, I'm not the biggest fan of cops, but I'm also like one of the biggest supporters, police officers, in my experience, I've had some really shitty experiences with police officers, in my life. At the same time, though, I've also had really fucking good experiences with police officers, guys that were level-headed, doing their job, looking out for the fucking little guy. So I don't paint all police officers as bad. Don't paint them all as good, neither. I know that there are some, districts where it just so happens it's a little corrupt. All of them are kind of lumped into the same bag, trying to fuck everyone over just so they can, be on their little power trip because they got made fun of in high school and didn't get to finger the prom queen. It's police shootouts. See, if you look at the same thing enough times, you can trick yourself into believing that that's all it ever is. If you take isolated incidents, a few of them here and there, but if those are the only ones you focus on instead of the big picture of like what happens mass scale, right? Because you're focusing on these few incidences, that paints the picture for everything. Not saying, hey, is there racial profiling? You bet your fucking ass there is. Of course there's racial profiling, and it's fucking horrible. It's garbage. That whole stop and frisk thing in fucking New York, dude, that shit was definitely racially motivated. That's just helping, the prison pipeline fucking populate the way that it has been. It's fucking up our legal system with all this fucking, this bullshit, and blah, 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 blah. I can go on and on and on. Yeah, there's a whole lot of fucked up racial shit. There's a bunch of shady shit that fucking happens, man. But by and large, over the scale of America, it's not happening. Like, that's the thing about media, man. If people talk about the same thing long enough and loud enough, we're going to think that that's the only way that it is. Look at the coronavirus right now. Don't get me wrong. I'm scared as fuck of the coronavirus. I don't want that shit anywhere fucking near me or my family. However, the media likes to project it out as it being this, like, they're making it seem like currently right now it's like the movie Contagion, when in actuality it's more so like Osmosis Jones. Okay, that's kind of, like this whole like this whole thing where it's like, yeah, people are dying from this thing. It's bad. We need to focus on it. We need to address it. Don't ignore it. But it's not as fucking gloom and doom as the fucking mass media is making it out to be. So you gotta kind of like go back and forth with it. You gotta kind of play with it a little bit. You gotta like open your eyes and do a little bit of research and stuff like this. You focus on one thing too long, you listen to with the volume up too high, and you're gonna indoctrinate yourself into believing that's the entire world. Yeah, in that situation, yeah. In that situation, that cop was absolutely fucking justified, man. Absolutely justified. I would, no. Like, I'm not, and that's the thing, though, some cops, they're like, there are some cops that should be put away for some of the shit that they've done. But in the situation that you just described, absolutely, man. Absolutely. That guy had it coming. You know, you mess with the bull, you get the horns. Bang, bang. All right, let's refresh this, see if anything new is populated in the area. Dodge Stratus. Yeah, Altima. There's Altimas and Stratas up here. What's the, Nissan Strata? Cetera, whatever. Yeah, Hyundais aren't too bad. This one's an 05, 160,000 miles. Let's take a gander. What's wrong with this? Great running car, air heat, no damage to the interior. Hold on. Oh, this is a car. Yeah, this guy's got like 12 other cars listed. Like, get out of here, man. You're a dealer. I hate that shit. I just block them every time I find someone that's a dealer. I haven't like honestly like I only listen to the headlines, the buzzwords, the quick headlines of the news. You know, I just kind of get the highlights. I've been so laser focused on this whole car thing, which I'm actually still doing right now. Like I was saying this earlier, I've been so obsessive over it. It's like really affected, you know, because I'm trying to get this, you know. It's like I'll sit here and refresh, and then I'll go back to Craigslist, and I'll go on OfferUp, and I'll go back to Facebook Marketplace, and you know, I go on all these. Like, I wish there was another site like Craigslist and OfferUp and Facebook Marketplace where you could find cars in your budget. I tried Auto Trader, nothing like that. It's mostly all dealers. eBay Auto, no, they don't deal with anything like really less than like 4 or 5K. So you know, it's I don't know. It's just I'm just gonna stick to my guns. I've bought in cars from Craigslist before. I've bought in cars from Facebook Marketplace. I've bought in cars from OfferUp. I have enough experience buying cars and selling cars to kind of know what I'm getting myself into, what to look for. All the ammo and guns. I'm telling you, man. Like, I'm a big like I need one. I don't have one, but yeah. All right. I'll touch on the auction thing in just a second. Dude. All right. So here's the deal. I'm a big advocate for go bags. I think everyone should have a go bag, and go bags they're not universal. Okay, you can make them universal. Don't make your go bag universal. I live in Las Vegas. I live in the suburbs of Las Vegas, so therefore my go bag needs to be kitted out for a suburban desert, a shit hit the fan scenario. Okay, if I were to live in southern Colorado Springs, right? All right, I would be in the high desert, forested, rural, shit hit the fan situation. My go bag would be consisted of very different items than one for out here. Huge advocate for having a go bag. There are certain things that are universal to have in all of your go bags. Obviously, you want food, water, you know, something to start a fire, a knife, you know, some 550 cord is good to have in all go bags and stuff like that. Water purification tablets, stuff like that. Yeah, but then there's also, you know, different niche things that you can get depending on the environment, you know, where you live, because your go bag is designed to, you know, kind of keep you steady, keep you going for 3 days after shit hits the fan. It's not meant to last you forever. It's just helping you get through the very beginning. If you have a family of 4 men, you want to get one for you, your wife, your kids, man. You want to make sure everyone has their go bag. You know, even if you, as dad, have to carry everything, you fucking do it, man. You want to make sure everyone is kitted out just appropriately. So the car auction. You want to hear about the car auction, huh? Okay. I just pulled it up. Oh shit. All right, so there's the Nellis auction, and I was planning to go to it on Tuesday. Not a single car sold for my short list. I have a short list of vehicles that are fuel efficient. That I did some research that should last me between 6 months to a year. With minimal things needing to be worked on them, shit like that. Right. I had a short list of vehicles, and there's probably in this auction there was probably about I think 8 listed from most likely that I would like to buy on down. Not a single one of those cars online. This isn't including the bids from the actual physical location. This is just online for the bids that were leading up to the live auction. Every single bid went up to not from the 8 cars on my short list. Not a single one of them had bids under 2,000. On top of that, you still have to pay, you got your DMV shit you got to take care of as well, plus your insurance. And on top of it, there's the buyer's premium. Now, I was planning to actually go there. It's quite a fucking drive away. It's like a 45 minute drive one way there. So it's and I'm kind of glad because I was looking at it Tuesday and I was planning to go that night because it started at 5:30. I was planning to get there, probably around, I was hoping to get there like an hour early, take a look at some of the inventory firsthand, kind of refine my list. But when it was like probably about 2 o'clock, and I was online looking at the auction, and I could see that all these cars were just going for damn near fucking retail, and I was like, because they also have estimated retail values as well. So, and I was like, all right, I'm not even gonna bother going because not a single one of the cars I want is gonna and it's mostly dealers. It's mostly like used car dealers that bid on these auctions and they, try to flip it. They get these cars and they probably profit, I don't know, probably a couple $100 on them. Just depends on the deal that they get at the auction. But it's just how it works, man. So, Car Gurus. Cars for sale in Las Vegas, Nevada. Let's do, I guess, 25-mile radius. Let's bring that price down. The price is maxed. Yeah, the price by default is at $1.75 million. Oh my God. Lowest price first. What? Oh, those are all sponsored. That's why. No price analysis. All right, let's try to refine this a little bit. Automatic. Don't need financing. How? These are mostly dealers. Okay, I think, was there any other? Probably came from yesterday. I'm trying to refine it as best I can. All right, it doesn't matter anyway. I can't really find it anymore. So the cheapest car is a 1998 Pontiac Bonneville 4-door sedan for $2,000 a month with 123,000 miles on it. And then we have 2005 Ford Taurus for $2,000 with 110,000 miles on it. And those are the two lowest. And even still, $2,000 is like, That's still like encroaching past my, because I insurance and then DMV costs. It's going up there. The plan was to use the $2,000 for all of it. Sweet spot between 15 to 16. If I have to, I will push it up to 2,000 depending on the deal. And that's also contingent too upon I have like another 5 days. After 5 days, I'm gonna get a little bit more stingent. I'll up my fucking I'll add a couple bucks, a couple $100 to get a fucking vehicle finally. So because I'm just at the point where it's like I just want to be out of the Mazda. I love that fucking car, but it's not my car. It's Vic's wife's car. She needs to drive it, not me. So bottom line, end of fucking story. So, but even still, even when I get to that point, I still need to make sure it passes smog. I need to make sure it's mechanically sound for the time being. It's just, there's just so much. It's really strenuous, but I did it before with the Durango just fine. I just got to keep it cool, keep it calm, keep it collected, and the right car will come when the moment is right. So I'm not going to stress too much about it. I got to refocus on that, let myself know, hey, just take it easy. Don't stress yourself out. Look for a Honda Civic. Hey, what's going on? We're just shooting the shit talking about fucking looking at vehicles and stuff because I've been looking for one for a while. Safest place would be on a cruise ship in the middle of the ocean to eat seafood. Oh yeah, like an oil rig, one that's actually not like actively pumping oil and stuff. That's actually a pretty safe one too. I have looked at Honda Civics. They want a crazy amount of money for a crazy number of miles without smog checks. Like I've been talking to people about a whole bunch of different vehicles. Honda Accords, Honda Civics included as well. And the biggest thing is they don't want to include smog checks. And the thing is, I was looking at cars back in November and back in December. And it's just funny because the same cars I'm looking at now were a lot cheaper back then. The reason why these cars have gone so crazy high up in value is because it's tax season. Let alone the motherfuckers like me that work for themselves and actually had to pay the tax man instead of receive anything. So, it's just where we roll our fucking eyes, right? Yeah, I think I had an Accord. I can't remember what year. I think it was '99. Had an Accord and damn blown head gasket on me, man. That was rough, but after that I got the Ranger and it was all good, man. But I was real worried for a while, man. Like, what the hell am I gonna do? Drive to smog with it. That's so. There's a Hyundai I looked at, and the guy was being bitchy about the smog, and I was like, "Look, I'm interested. I want to give you an offer. If we get it smogged, I probably won't even fight you on the price." And he's like, "Oh, I ain't got time to go get the smog, man. I got other people coming to look at it," and it's like, And then there's the other guy, the Caliber guy I mentioned. He jumped the fucking price up $500 once he got it smogged. It's like, just because you got it smogged doesn't mean it's worth more. Okay? What you were originally requested it for, that should have been with smog. All of these cars should be priced the way they are with the smog. Okay? Without having the smog certification in hand, that devalues the car. He paid someone to pass it. Fraud. Could be. Yeah, definitely. No, but the Caliber guy, he said that he had to change out an O2 sensor. They did that. So that's probably, he's trying to make his money back on that. But it's like, I wish you guys would have seen it. Like, honestly, $1,200 in its current condition. Because the number one thing with that car is it needs all new tires. It needs all new tires, and there's a good chance it's gonna need an alignment. I mean, I drove it; it was relatively smooth, but the tires were fucking bad, which means you could also have bad rotors. It braked pretty well, so I don't know how long the brakes, but I didn't hear any squeaking. I didn't feel any like crazy vibrations, no grinding or nothing. I did some nice tight turns with it. I didn't hear any grinding or nothing. So, but still, you never know. I know with those Oh my fucking god. The calibers, I do know that one of the issues with them is they do have shitty suspension. So they do have suspension issues, so you might have to change your shocks. Or at least get them realigned every 30,000 miles. It might sound like a pain in the ass, help the longevity of the vehicle, because thank you, Dodge. Why did you fucking make this for us when you had an awesome vehicle like the Dodge Avenger, even the Dodge Dart, bad boy. And then dude, fucking the Stratus, those things, the older ones are still fucking trucking, man. I mean, I'm not saying they're anything, with the build quality of like a Honda Civic. I mean, Honda Civics are mainstays, man. Those are things people love turning those things out, man. They're easy to work, especially the older ones. Um, my truck engine shakes. I think it's a bad knock sensor. Why does an engine shake? Oh fuck. I don't know a whole lot about cars, to be perfectly honest with you. It could be something with the fucking piston knocking it around or something like that. Like so the piston's like on this pivot joint, so it could be a bad joint. That could be it. So I don't know. Like a lot of these things are like things I've kind of learned secondhand. There are some things I've picked up on, some things through my experience working on the vehicles that I've owned. That I'm not a master at any of this, but you pick shit up. I'm gonna sell it maybe for 1,500. Check out Carvana. No. So I actually did some research into Carvana. This was right around the time that the Durango died, and they give you a quote, but they don't give you a hard quote until like you put all your information in. So they gave me a quote for like $500 a month when my insurance would have been like I think like $450 a month. It was close to $1,000 a month for the car plus insurance because you have to get full coverage. And I'm like, damn, that's fucking crazy, right? But that was they in order to get like a hard quote on what everything's going to be and get all your contract information, you got to sign in. But it said that I had Xfinity, no, Equifax, or some credit bureau bullshit said it locked that my social was on a lock or some weird shit like that, which it wasn't. So I don't know what the fuck is up with their website. But even still, man, I prefer just buying a beater car and owning it outright. I spent all last year clearing out all my debt, and it feels good to have big zeros. But my credit is still relatively poor because I don't have anything out in it. So not having debt you would think is a good thing, but you need debt to accrue positive credit. You need debt and you need to pay it on time. That's how they look at your credit. So I'm still like followed by a bad credit history, which we're trying to work on that now. So the last thing I want to do is for my short budget that I have, because I'm telling you, if I went to Carvana, I would be destitute. That car would be repoed so fucking quick. Because as is, I'm not saying that we're destitute. We're not without food and shit. Like we pay our bills on time. We're good. But we're at the point in our lives where we make just enough money to put some aside at the end of the month. That's where we're at. We're not, we're trying to nest egg. We're trying to nest egg. We got a bunch of I got all my debts taken care of, and we've trimmed the budget monthly to where we live comfortably within our means, and we're still able to put money aside in case we need it for anything. So we do not ever want to go back to the way it was before. I'll be lucky if it's been crash and dance. They'll repo it, bro. That's what I'm saying. That's why I wouldn't even bother with Carvana. It's like I'm not spending as much on rent as I do on a fucking vehicle, roughly. So there's no fucking way, because if I own a car outright, then it's just gas and fucking insurance. Save a shitload of fucking money doing that. So that's how you're successful. I remember I saw someone. I did a truck tour video, which hopefully you guys have seen. That was with the Durango, and I was going through the tools I had, and I was like kind of showing around, like, hey, here's what I have in my truck. This is my daily carries, blah blah blah. And someone wrote a comment saying, actually, I'm gonna pull it up because this is actually the funniest fucking shit. Like this is it's the mentality thing. It's a mentality thing, and this guy's got to be a millennial.
I'm Michael New.
So funny. Someone asked me hey, you ever thought about getting a truck like a Ranger? Like if you were on the channel long enough, you'd have seen the Ranger. Ha ha ha. Okay, yeah, this dude wrote, you said you make money. You said you make lots of money and you're driving a junkie's Durango. That's what this guy wrote, right? And I was like, Yepers. At the time, I was driving a junker Durango as my work truck. Just because you make a lot of money doesn't mean you should waste it. Because I drove that truck, I was able to save and become debt free. I own that truck outright and have saved so much money because of it. Who's more intelligent, the guy paying a $60,000 truck payment or the guy who owns a 20-year-old vehicle that gets the work done storing that truck payment money away, investing it for more income? I think the Durango broke down and he borrows his girlfriend's car so he can save up to buy another used vehicle. Ding ding, you got it. Yeah, I love how I got people on here that they follow me, they follow the streams, they know the history. I don't gotta explain myself too much, you know. So my favorite videos are the tooltips. I do want to do tooltip videos and shit, man. I really do. It's I make a lot of excuses, but at the end of the day, I just need to get it done. So, I'm like I said, I've mentioned this before. Once I get a car, and once this VA shit is finally over with, the 10th, because then it's out of my hands at that point. Then it's just waiting to hear back from them. I don't have to do anything else. So, I've been writing out different stuff I want to do, very simple videos. I do want to put more content out there for you guys, not because just for you guys to watch it, but like I enjoy making this shit. So it's like stress relief, man. There was a video I wanted to do, which I would have to put aside a little bit of money for, and the idea is I wanted to review IKEA tools basically, because I've seen some like I've gone into clients' houses where they've hired me to build their IKEA furniture, but I walk in and I see the opened like little fucking $20 IKEA fucking bullshit kit, and like I just laugh at myself. Like they try to do it on their own with that bullshit. Okay, because the little IKEA kits, don't fucking walk away from it. Don't even go anywhere near it. They're bad. You haven't done a video since last year. You did the video. It was Barnes and Noble. I think I did a video last year. Hold on. It wasn't Barnes and Noble. Barnes and Noble wasn't the last video I did. But thank you for watching the Barnes and Noble one. These are all streams. Streams. There was one that I did. It was the Squarespace video. I just can't remember what I named it. Something about Squarespace. Leaving Squarespace. Yeah, everything else is just an archive of my stream, which one of the things I'm going to do in the next coming months, probably around summer, is I'm going to clean up my channel. I'm going to archive personally for myself every fucking live stream I've ever done, but I'm going to essentially be removing the live streams. So when you go to my channel, it's just the scheduled videos that I've put up. Anyway, I get lost on a tangent. All right. My book in stores. Yeah, there was a Squarespace one that I also uploaded. Oh, really? Oh, cool, man. Yeah, TaskRabbit's a crazy beast. Are you in California by chance? Because if you are in California, there's crazy requirements. You need to have a contractor's license. You need to have small business set up with this Chamber of Commerce and all this shit. Like, you need. All right, fine. If you watch them, you watch them. Uh, I'll figure something out. I need to clean up my feed though. So, I mean, okay, Orlando. So you don't have to worry about the AP5 stuff then. Yeah. Yeah, man. My advice: take it slow. No, not in Washington. I visit Washington. I have family up there. I'm up there for like 2 weeks every 2 months. But I live in Las Vegas. That's all I'm gonna say about that. No, for real though. With TaskRabbit, you know, I know it sucks saying this, but when you first start out, keep your prices low. I don't have to because I live in Las Vegas. It doesn't affect us. It only affects people in California. And like I said, depending on the VA stuff, I may not be doing TaskRabbit anymore anyway. But I need to hear back about this evaluation and thinking if a different line of work through vocational rehab or something will be beneficial for me. So I've tried going through voc rehab before, but now with them doing all this like, you know, PTSD evaluations and shit like that, I don't know. It's just we're gonna see what happens. So I'm just kind of taking it easy until all that shit's done. No, that is a fallacy. So, all right. Let me break this down. So, TaskRabbit, they don't pay you. They have a third party. It used to be Braintree, and now it's switched over to Stripe. So, the way it works is through that merchant, think PayPal. When you make over $20,000 and, you know, just total, not in profit, not like, you know, after all the math is done, but when you do $20,000 worth of work, we'll figure that out. Like I said, it's a lot of conversations with the VA, seeing, you know, after once these evaluations are done, probably get lined up with voc rehab, try to figure something out. Does the government know? Trust me, the government knows. So, PayPal, Braintree, all these people, if in a year's time, if you make over $600, the government fucking knows. If they, not saying just fucking cash or whatever, but let's say you do PayPal back and forth with you and a buddy. If it's over $600, that has to be reported. The government fucking knows. So, like for example, last year I made $21,000 through TaskRabbit. You know, it's okay overall. You know, when you average it out for the year, it's not so much that they have access. It's different. So the way it works is, so independent contractors, we're not employed, right? So we have to account for stuff on our own. Now, dealing with cash clients, it's as if those clients don't fucking exist. You don't even have to fucking, you know, you're supposed to write down all your cash too, but realistically, if it's a cash transaction, the government doesn't fucking know. But be on your P's and Q's about it. The way it works with anything digital. So if you get audited and they notice that, then that's when it's a problem. That's when it's a problem, because they can then see the discrepancy. It's like, well, on your taxes, you said you made this much, but now that we're auditing you and we're looking at your bank statements, it looks like you made a lot more. Where'd all that come from? Why didn't you pay taxes on that? You know. But the way it works is with like Braintree and shit is TaskRabbit, you do work on TaskRabbit, you invoice, the client pays. It's random. Audits are fucking random. I have no idea. It's completely random. So hold on. So you have TaskRabbit, right? And then you work on TaskRabbit, you invoice the client. Client pays TaskRabbit. TaskRabbit distributes the money to you. No, they give the money to Stripe, who then distributes it to you. The reason why there's a middleman is because we don't want to be like it makes it so that we're not employees. If TaskRabbit paid us directly, that could be argued as an employee relationship. So they pay a third party. Yeah, most people never get out of it. So Braintree, Stripe, whatever, they get it, or PayPal. They get this and then they give it to you. If it's over $600,000 that they gave to you, they have to. If it's over $600, sorry, if it's over $600, they have to report it to the IRS. So even if you don't get a 1099 from Stripe or Braintree or PayPal, it's still like, so I made $21,000, right? Hey, what's up, Memba? So I made $21,000, but that was divided because they switched in the middle of the year. It was Braintree and then Stripe. So because it was 10,000 here and 10,000 here, they only give you a 1099 if you made $20,000 minimum with one merchant. But both merchants still told the government how much money I made. They just didn't let me know, which is really fucked up. The way it should work is if you make over $600, you're supposed to receive a W-2 or a 1099. Well, actually, you receive a W-2 if you're employed. If you're on payroll, you automatically receive one. But if you make, for independent contractors, you're supposed to get a 1099 if it's over $600. Because anything below that, they consider, there's a certain word for it, but they don't, it's such a low fucking number, they don't give a shit. You're essentially at a threshold that is so low, they cannot even tax you anyway. So they don't fucking even worry about it. They still want you to disclose it, but you're not going to get a 1099 for it. So whoever said that if you don't make $20,000, you don't have to pay taxes, you still have to fucking pay taxes. And you have to expense everything, because if you tell the government, I made $20,000 on TaskRabbit, right? And they're like, do you have any expenses? And if you say, no, I have 0 expenses. Okay, cool. Your taxes are going to be $8,000. It's like, whoa, why is that so much? Well, because you have to pay for Medicare, you have to pay for Social Security. These are all things you have to pay into on top of your state, on top of your federal tax. And then on top of that, there's like for small businesses, for independent contractors, people that own their own business or whatever, there's an additional tax on top of that. It's fucking ridiculous. That's why you expense everything. You make sure you keep track in case you're audited, but you keep track of fucking everything, and you make sure that you're on your P's and Q's. You know, I got fucking folders and folders like over years and years and years, just like I hold on to them. I hold on to all my tax returns, and they're all like nice and neat. Every single receipt, all of it, you know. Like when I do the apps for calculating driving, that goes into that, I save that. I print out all of that shit. Like every year is like a thick booklet that dictates everything out, and it's written down to a T. Trust me, it's worth it. It's a fucking headache, but it's worth it. So just because I charge, all right, hold on. When I'm in Washington, I charge between $50 to $55 an hour. It costs more for the client because, you know, 15% from TaskRabbit. But when I'm down here, it's between 30 to 35. It just depends. Not gonna too long to go into. But so right now, yeah, so it's like 30 to 35 down here in Vegas. I'm mostly work down here in Vegas. No, I actually work maybe 10 hours a week, if or something like that. And you got to remember too, a big bulk of what I do is IKEA flat rate jobs, and the flat rate jobs, those are really weird because you get paid a flat rate, so it doesn't incorporate your hours very well. There are flat rate jobs that I've gotten paid $300 for, where I've only been there for 2.5 hours, or like even like I think there was one job I had where it was $500, and I think I was there for maybe 4.5 hours. Because I was working with furniture that I was very familiar with. I was able to knock it out relatively quickly. So that kind of, it skews things up really weird. So For me, I don't work a 40-hour work week. If I'm lucky, I'll work 20 hours in a week, but I usually, when I was working pretty heavily, it'd be 10 to 15, like on an average. Um, you know, so because that's actually, those are actual, how do I say this? Those are actually billing, those are billing hours, right? $450. Yeah, so it's different when you're an independent contractor. So if you, let's say that you're an employee, right? If you're on the payroll and all that stuff, if you're slotted at making $50 an hour and you do your 40-hour work week, and you get paid, let's say once a week, that's a lot of, a lot of service, handyman, fucking HVAC, electrical, all this stuff, like, like the service, like hands-on service industry. These the technicians and stuff. The way that they calculate it out is the payroll people have a way of calculating it just so weird. So when I was in HVAC, if we, like, especially in the summer, if we worked like a 61 to like 80-hour work week, it kind of sucked, man, because it would throw us into a higher tax bracket. The next week might be fucking dead. We might only work fucking 25, 30 hours that week. We could have like hardly any calls. So it just goes all over the fucking place. It's so weird. But when I was working hourly in HVAC, making 15 an hour and then the overtime 21, it threw me into a higher tax bracket. So it's like one week I'd get paid $800 and get charged however much, but then the next week I'd make like $1,200. But because it threw me into a higher tax bracket, I actually made less than I did before, and it was like, this doesn't make sense. It's because they basically, when they tax you, they take that 1 week and then make it seem that that's what you would be making every single week. It's so fucking. No, TaskRabbit is my main source of income. Now I don't know, man. Now I'm getting a little weird talking about money. I mean, I don't mind being personal with you guys and, like, all that jazz, but some of the questions they're a little weird, just being straight up. I mean, I don't mind, but I mean, TaskRabbit, yeah. TaskRabbit's my main source of income. Okay. And it's doing fine for me. Okay. It's doing fine for me. So. This is weird because I love my fans. I love you. Well, why? So why is it? What's weird about it for you? So I'm pretty open and I like talking with you guys, but I think I handle criticism relatively well, but sometimes it's like what annoys me is when other people give me advice without me asking for it. Um, there's a difference between like positive, encouraging criticism about something and like nitpicking or being judgmental or something like that. I'm not saying that you guys are, but this is, it's perception, and it's something that I try to remind myself, like, hey, that's not always like that. But so I like being personal with you guys. I like being open with you guys, and I'm sure that you guys appreciate that. But with me, it's like my teeth, for example. That's something that's very personal, and I don't really like talking about it. But I am open, and I got a lot of shit going on, and you guys want to know what's going on because you're interested. So I tell you guys, and then now that you know that, it's like, well, then now you always want to talk about, oh, well, you shouldn't be drinking this, or you should be doing this, and it's like, I don't want to be a dick. I don't want to fucking hear it. Like, I know what I need to do and know what I not need to do. It's like, and so I just get overwhelmed very easily. And I appreciate you guys. I do. And, you guys see me, and it's like, I am pretty open with you guys, but at the end of the day, you still don't know me. I still don't know you guys. You know what I mean? And there are certain parts of me. There's certain behaviors that I have. There's certain ways that I tick that I'm not proud of. There are times where I can be a real fucking asshole, and more so than usual. Um, and I don't want to be like that with you guys. So I don't know, just little things like that get personal when there's certain lines that get crossed, and I know I might be open, and if I'm too open and then certain things come up and I just don't want to talk about it, and then you guys kind of pry into it, then I get kind of annoyed, and then we're all like, what the fuck, man? It's like, whoa, man, Mace, you changed. What the hell happened, man? It's just certain bridges none of us want to cross, so I try to burn them ahead of time. And that's because I have to be mindful of me. Let's change that YouTube meetup. I'm willing to meet up with anybody and everybody, but you got to be on camera so I can prove it. It's like, hey, I met people in real life. Fucking Jackknife Finnegan's been here a few times, and I'm not just saying on the live stream. He's been here in Vegas. You look like a. Well, no, I do. I have a history with having a temper, man, and being with fake wife and having kids, it's kind of helped me a lot. And it used to be where I was just like, if I got pissed off, I would just rah, and then as I've aged and as I've experienced things, I kind of hold a lot of it in, and I don't want to hold it in. I don't like holding it in. If I'm irritated, I'd rather just vent it out. So the easiest thing for me to do is to communicate with people, to talk to people, because for me, it's like therapy. It's helpful. It's like, instead of bottling this shit in, if I could just verbalize it, get it out there, then it's no longer in me, No, no. So the thing is, I'm open, if I wasn't feeling a type of way. Oh, I have in the past, yeah. I've never been kicked out of a bar or anything, but I'm always, down for a rumble. But no, man, you didn't make me feel a type of way. The thing is, one of the big things that going on with the VA is getting my mental health in check, because I do know that there are some issues going on with that, and I want to make sure that I'm on my P's and Q's, not just for me, but for my family and you guys. So I try to be mindful of myself and my own emotions and catch myself before I get to that point. So, because it's like, it's a better way of operating, and I'm not always able to do that. It's a little bit easier with you guys because I'm on camera. When you're on camera, you kind of have to be nice. You should talk to fucking fake wife. I'm an asshole all the time. I snap at her a lot, and then like 2 seconds later, I'm like, "Whoa, I'm sorry." Like, I get really irritated. I can't believe she's even still fucking with me. She's too fucking good, But it's just one of those things. Like, she just knows how I tick. Like, I've never met anyone that's like that got me the way that she does. Like, she can see through my bullshit like the same way we can see through Biden's. All right, man. It's just fucking nuts. I never like had that connection with someone where they get me without me having to explain shit. On that same note, there are still things about me that she is fucking clueless about. And 90% of the things that go on with her, I have no fucking idea, but I keep trying, That's what makes us work. Effort. All right, so I mentioned that there was a Squarespace video, and I am trying to find it. Here we go. Yeah, so leaving Squarespace, horrible state of customer service. Please, if you guys get a chance, check out that video. It was done 2 months ago. So that was a video that was done in 2020. I did at least one video in 2020. But what do you guys think of the Barnes & Noble video of me putting my book in stores? Never knew anything that happened from that, but I thought it was something cool to do nonetheless. And it's kind of cool. If you kind of scroll back, you can kind of see where I last had my haircut. And then Let's see. I think I had a haircut. Let me see. It was 5 months ago, 6 months ago. Yeah, it had to be in the summer with Mike. When Mike came out 7 months ago. 8 months ago. All right. So I think I got my hair cut 8 months. It can't have been 8 months ago. I've had to have gotten it cut since then. War never changes. Oh, well, that's one thing I was debating on. I haven't cut my hair in a while, and I was thinking of just, I've let it go this long. If I let it go for another year and a half, it should, because it took 2 years for it to grow long enough to cut the locks of love when I was 18. So I grew it from 16 to 18. I could do that again. That was something I was actually thinking of doing. I will never shave my head again, though, after the military. That's not happening. Not shaving my head again. No way in hell. But I will grow it out and donate it. But I'm kind of waiting a little bit, seeing how I feel. Once all this VA stuff is done, especially this summer. Especially this summer, man. That's the big one. Because, dude, Vegas, summers, long hair, beard. Ugh. I usually keep a beard in the wintertime. I did shave it when I was up in Washington. Um, looking back, I don't know why I did, but my beard is just one of those where I can't get it to grow properly, and I'm not good at shaping it up. I let it grow and then I cut it. Let it grow and then I cut it. Let it grow and then I cut it. In the summer, like in the wintertime, I might cut it once. Don't have AC in truck. It's gonna suck. Oh my god. I'm not if you're on the 215 hauling ass, man. I stay away from the 15, man. The 215, there are parts of the 215 that are bad. There are parts of the 215 that really suck. The 15, though, all of it fucking sucks, man. I stay away from it, man. I mean, let's see. All right, so the 15 sucks where it crosses the 215 up until it crosses. Yeah. Yeah, so the 15 in between the 215 fucking sucks. I mean, it's not so bad once you get past 95, it actually opens up in the north. So the 95 on, it's bearable. So the 95 to the 215, so what's that? That's like Martin Luther King Boulevard down to Russell. That is just all garbage. It's a pretty drive, though. When you're coming north to south, very pretty drive because you get a much better view of the strip as you're coming in and down. Coming up, though, it's like you're just right alongside it. It's not the same. The car you buy, what if the AC doesn't work? Then, oh well. I've owned cars without AC before, and it is not the end of the world because I can roll windows down, and I've never really had a problem with it in the past. I mean, does it suck? Abso-fucking-lutely. But if it happens, it happens. It's like I can't remember if it was the Durango or the Ranger, but one of them was the AC really sucked in it. Like it was really rough. Oh, dude, you can ask me anything you want about TaskRabbit, man. Yeah, I'm gonna give you guys a 10-minute warning because I do need to call my 5 minutes. Sorry, I just looked. It's 9 o'clock. I gotta call my son before he goes down tonight. So, 5-minute warning. Rapid fire. Don't just wait for me to answer your question. Just put in all your questions. I'll answer them as fastly as I can. We're gonna try to condense this for you because I do like answering questions about the gig economy and multiple platforms and blah 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 blah. Oh yeah, and the problems from war shit, it's you know, I was fortunate. I didn't see a lot of shit that scarred a lot of people, you know. But there was some shit that happened while I was in that just it's kind of fucked me up ever since. And that's kind of the shit that I'm trying to get handled. You know, it's stuff that you get out the car and your back is all wet. A nice dude. I'm a sweater, man. I don't know if it's ever showed up on stream, but man, when it's summertime, the moment I walk out the door, I start sweating. No matter how much I hydrate myself, I just pour buckets. Always been like that. Don't know why. It could be an issue. Who knows? But you know, I definitely double up on the H2O intake in the summer months. Oh wait, it's 9:11. Oh wow, shit, yeah. Yeah, so we have any of those TaskRabbit related questions? I got you. Got a couple more minutes before I have to close this off. Want to make sure I can give you at least one question answered. I'm going to do a quick refresh on Facebook and yeah, in like probably about 2 minutes I got to end the stream. I got to call my son, tell him good night and see what he's in trouble for today because according to his Oma, he did something. So talking away, I don't know what you're saying, say it anyway. Oh yeah, I usually don't fall asleep until like 2 or 3. Sometimes I get lucky and I'll be so exhausted I'll probably be able to go down between 12 and 1. It's a rarity, but it happens. All right. You said you work like 10 hours per week. Is that by choice or is it difficult to keep your work filled? That's the average. So that's the average that I give for because it does change. Let's see. November, December, and January, I hardly worked at all. I worked maybe 5 hours a week, like on average. It was just dead. But there have been summer months where I've pulled in like what 25, 30 hours, billable hours. And for TaskRabbit, that's pretty busy. I've seen people that work like 40, 60-hour work weeks. It just changes with different markets, different people at different price points and stuff. And, you know, I price myself to where if I work 10 hours, I'm making as much as someone that works 15 or someone that works as much as 20. So there are guys that have themselves at like $19, $20 an hour. Well, furniture assembly for me is $40 an hour. It takes me, and I'm quicker, you know, because I'm so fast. It's like they might take 2 hours to do something, they'll make $40. Good for them. It can take me 30, 40, and this isn't me trying to brag. This is like, hey, you HVAC guys, you electricians, you know, you people that like, if you do something long enough and you become good at it, it becomes kind of standard. And I'm not the only one. There are people that are way better than me at building furniture. There's this Facebook group I'm a part of, TaskRabbit Taskers United. There are some people there that bang that shit out so fucking quick, you know, and they price themselves accordingly. There are people in different markets that charge upwards of $100, $150 an hour. You know, they go out there and they knock it out so quick. The clients are like, oh, wow. Because time, time is valuable. My time's valuable. The client's time is valuable. So it's like it's an ebb and flow, man. It's like it's a little give and take, a little push and pull. You drink while takes the amoxicillin. No, I don't drink alcohol. I have in the past, and it doesn't mix very well with me because of how I'm wired, and I make shitty fucking decisions. So, I love my family enough to not continue down that path, so I just don't drink. You know, I can see myself having the one-off, like, you know, maybe if we went out to dinner or something, have like a Lagunitas, because I'm a big fan of Lagunitas. It's an IPA that I really enjoy. You guys are gonna. It depends. Like I said, as far as work filling my schedule, it depends. It's all about who hires me. There are a lot of jobs that I do say no to. Historically, like last year, there were certain times in the summer where I get picky. When work is really busy, I get picky, man. But I'm gonna pick this up tomorrow. Thank you guys so much for chit chat with me. You guys are the best as always. I'm real so glorious, beloved. Signing off.